Today we're going to rank all of the Gorebox maps based on how livable they would be in real life. And we're starting off with Legacy itself. So the Legacy map has got a lot of stuff going on. First off, we've got this hotel right here. It's got this little parking lot. So even my cars have a place to stay, I guess. And a hotel room, of course, means at least they have well lit, I suppose. And there's like 6 hotel rooms in total, so plenty of place for you to stay in here. If you ever need to go to the bathroom, we've got the toilets right here. Actually, they're all urinals. If you want to go number 2, I guess no one is really going to be around to judge you, so... Now, my favorite part about this map is that we've got a swimming pool right here. Actually, we can make that 2 swimming pools, technically. This hotel even comes with a beautiful little backyard and even air conditioning. If you're ever bored, you can climb up this tower right here. And unlike every other map in this game, we even got a little friend right here. I'm not gonna punch him because if I do, I won't have my friend anymore. Isn't that right, buddy? If you're bored, we've got a little shooting range. We've even got a car spawned in here for you. You can drive up and down this tower for fun. We've got this little hangar right here with yet another car. And we've even got this ramp once again for fun. We've got this watchtower right here to keep an eye on any sussy bakas. Am I really saying sussy baka in the big 2025? I'm sorry guys. We've got this tent right here if you ever feel like camping. And even this little well-lit house right here. It's still under renovation, but it looks like a bit of a fix-upper. Nothing wrong with that. Then we've even got these docks right here. So if you're ever bored or hungry, you could go fishing. Oh, what's that? I've caught myself a new friend. Also, we've got this little basement with a prison down here. Oh, and I completely forgot about the crane. You can always climb up here. And we've got yet another friend in here who is supposed to be operating the crane, but he's asleep. For the next map, we've got Pit Valley. The exit right here is blocked off. Although we've got a toilet right here, the door of which appears to be unopenable, so that's a minus point right there. Unlike the Legacy map, you can't find any pals in this map, but we've got some pallets, I suppose. Does that count? We've got a couple of goalposts in this map, so I can even play football if I want. Okay, that's absolutely terrible aim. Ew, there's some trash right here. Nobody's cleaned this up. My favorite thing about this map is that we've got this little beach right here with some beach umbrellas, some picnic tables. This would be a great place to unwind and relax. Now, if you ever feel daring, we've got these spooky little caves right here which you can explore. And also right under this bridge right here, we've got this gigantic and dangerous pit which can be accessed by using those caves, of course. Next up, we've got Desert Bridge. Now, this is a map that comes with a whole lot of buildings already in place, although many of them appear to be completely destroyed. But if you're ever hungry, we've got a steakhouse right here. You can have burgers, fries, and I'm not really sure what else. We've got a helicopter on this helipad, so you can always fly around this map. We've actually got a bar right here, so all of your alcohol needs should be covered. We've got a cafe as well, so if you ever need coffee, glug glug. And of course in this hotel, you've also got some beds right here. You even got a table and chair. And there's also some mailboxes around the place, so I assume that you could deliver mail to people in this map. Although some of the structures are damaged, some of them aren't. I mean, you know, if you want to go exploring sometimes or just relax in a place that isn't a building, we've got some other tents in here. There's even an ATM machine in here. We've got an office space here. We've got this massive garage right here, which comes with a Humvee. If you want to improve your aim, we've got a shooting range right here. And also we've got this enterable radio tower. We've got a computer right here. You can play Gorebox on it, I suppose. And you can even go atop the radio tower for some sightseeing. And if ever needed, you can also go for a swim in this river to beat the heat. Next up, we've got the Sanctuary map. Except for the dirt and tar roads and this bridge, this map feels completely untouched by civilization. You know, there's a lot of greenery here. There's a lot of trees, a lot of grass, which you guys should touch once in a while, by the way. The water looks very inviting. I'd love to go for a swim right here. You've got this cliff that you can hike to the top of. And there's also an ATV placed right here for your pleasure. You can use that ATV to drive atop these mountains. And it's kind of snowy and chilly on top here. And you've even got this very Actually, it's not a very beautiful view, but it's a view, okay? And finally, we've got this little cave right here, which is partially underwater. It's really beautiful. I guess instead of a cave, I suppose it's supposed to be called a cove instead. I'm not really sure. This seems like a really chill place to be and live in. Although it's got to get super musty in here, right? Next, we've got the conspiracy map. Now I'll get to the tower in a minute, but besides this tower, we've got this little shed right here. It's actually broken. That's a minus point for this map right here. Then we've got this little house. It appears to be partially furnished. We've got some guns. Guys, I've got only 2 hands. Why do I need 3 sinks? 2 would have been enough, am I right? While there aren't any friends to hang out with in this map, we've got some clothes to hang out with. So that's nice. We've got this water tower right here, which you can climb to the top of if you're bored. Then there's this other building, which isn't furnished, although it's got a first floor, and even this cozy little balcony. Then there's this little cart right here. It sells bread, I suppose, so we've got our food needs covered right here. There's trash cans, so our trash needs are covered as well. You know, I don't have to drive all the way to the dump anymore to throw myself in there. I can just crawl in here. That's very convenient. We've also got a couple of toilets in here, of which one is actually enterable. We've got one more good looking building right here, but it can't be entered. Then we've also got this little bunker, I suppose. There isn't really much to see in here. There's this TV, but it can't be turned on. But there's this gun in here in case I want to kill myself. Now atop this tower, we've got a shooting range. We've got a dumbbell in case I want to build some muscle. We've got some bunk beds in here so I can sleep in a different one each night. Oh, we've even got a washing machine and fridge in here, so some nice little utilities. And I've even got this rooftop area. So this would be a nice place to just come and admire the scenery, I suppose. Next, we've got the Afterglow map. It's basically a downgrade of the legacy map, I suppose. There's no proper dock here, but you can always go for a swim. You can climb up this tower for fun. We've got a car here. Oh, we've also got a friend right here. I forgot about this guy. So I won't be all that lonely on this map. Besides that, we've got a few cargo containers. Then we've got this little building right here. I can enter this maze and try to find my way out if I ever get bored. Although I'm sure that the novelty of that will wear off pretty quickly. And I've got this little rooftop area right here. Next we've got the House of Lament. Okay, first of all, there's a lot of fog in here. It probably makes it hard to breathe, right? Then there's a whole bunch of water, and what we've got on this tiny island right here is this house. Unfortunately, you can't really enter this house. So all you've got to really do is stay on this dark, dull island on a house which you can't even enter. This does not seem very fun to me. Next we've got the F2 square map. I gotta admit, it's got a really good atmosphere and vibe. We've got just a few houses in here, including this building, although it seems to be utterly damaged. There is a car, but once again, it's been long abandoned and it's not drivable or anything like that. There's a couple of more houses in here. This one is once again completely damaged. It comes with a cozy little shed, however. I'd like to put a chair right here with a table and eat my lunch. It would feel relaxing. This building right here is the only one that isn't destroyed, although it's super tiny and only has windows on one side of the room. Besides that, on this map, we've got some areas that you can walk around on. You can even walk on top of the walls right here. They're all interconnected. And you can even use the stairs to walk on top of the corners of these walls. Next, we've got the Polar 6 map. It's actually a fairly small map. We've actually got a little newspaper stand right here. So I'm assuming that newspaper actually gets delivered right here. So this is one big means of staying connected with the world and even being entertained, I suppose. We've got this little shed right here in case you want to store your gigantic collection of labubus or whatever. I don't know what the kids are into these days. We've got a little fireplace, so this would be super cozy in the night time. We've got an area to play table tennis, so if you had a friend, this would be a nice little fun little activity. We've got yet another shed to store whatever it is you want to store in here. We've also got a couple of telephones in here, so another way to call and stay connected with the world. Now we've got a couple of houses. One of them is actually completely empty, although we've got a treadmill in here in case you want to keep fit. There's also a computer. It comes pre-equipped with alcohol. I could play video games and stuff on here. This would be nice. The other house is actually more well furnished. We've got some nice decorative plants. We've got a fridge. We've got a coffee maker. We've got a sink. So I can cook food and I can even sit on this table right here. We've got a nice little water cooler. We've even got this tower, which I can get to the top of. We've even got a laptop. I'd love to come up here sometimes and just admire the scenery. Next, we've got the Reminiscence map. Right now, it's too dark and gloomy. I'm gonna set it to daytime so that it's easier to explore. So what we've got right here is this large dock. So you can come here and fish or just to relax and stuff. We've got a kayak so you can go boating sometimes. We've got this watchtower, and unlike the watchtowers in the other maps, this one actually feels kind of cozy. We've got this bar right here, so I can drink alcohol. I can even play some pool, and I can even play some arcade games right here. Next up, we've got this beautiful mansion right here. I've got a piano right here which I can play when I'm bored. We've got some guns. We've got this grandfather clock. I've even got a TV which I can watch when I'm bored, right in front of this couch. And I've even got a radio and some newspaper. Oh, and even a Rubik's Cube, guys. So that will help keep me entertained. And once again, a table tennis table right here. In case I get bored of sleeping in my mansion, I can even camp out right here. That's kinda nice. Got a bunch of coconut trees, so I've got some tropical coconut water to fill my belly. If I get bored, I can even swim out to this oil rig right here. I can climb all the way up to the top and enjoy the beautiful view. Next, we've got the facility map. I suppose this is one of the largest interior maps in Gorebox. Once again, I'm going to set it to daytime right here, although that didn't seem to change anything. Okay, so right before we enter the building, we've got some picnic tables. This would have been a cozy little area if it wasn't for all of this red fog and dull sky once we enter the building itself. Once again, we've got newspaper being delivered here. Now, in this facility, you're going to have to walk down a lot of long and lonely corridors. And along these corridors, we've actually got multiple prison cells, each with their own bed and toilet. As bare bones as they are, you can sleep in a different prison cell every night, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Look, I'm just a poor little real estate agent, okay? I'm trying to sell these places however I can. Don't judge me, okay? Then right here we've got this little medical clinic of sorts. Once again, you can sleep on any hospital bed that you want. We've got a TV here for entertainment. We've even got a toilet with actual potties and a sink. Right here we've got a little office area that you could work out of. We've got a computer. We've actually got some soda and milk. That would be super cool. We've even got a storage area right here with all sorts of weapons. Although if you're staying here all alone, I doubt you'd actually need them. Also, we've got this little chamber right here which you can observe from up here itself. Or you can even go inside it. Although I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that. In terms of outdoor areas, we've got this right here. Ooh, we've got a bunch of colorful little barrels right here to add to the aesthetic. That's nice. We've also got this little well-lit area right here. It's one of my favorite areas in the entirety of Gorebox, I suppose. I don't know, some evenings you could just sit here and relax. This is basically the backyard of the facility map. There's just a bunch of open containers and some grass. I don't feel like it would be very fun to walk around or relax here. Next, we've got the pillars map. Unlike the other maps, this map actually has constant background music, and I'd say that this map is somewhat of an ethereal beauty. Like, I wouldn't mind visiting this area once in a while, but being stuck here and having to live here, ew. This is the first map so far that I've arrived at, and I'm like, definitely I don't want to live here. Like, all of the walls and stuff, they all look the same. The architecture doesn't even make sense. Like, what is all of this? The only thing you've got for entertainment is to watch these clocks slowly pass the time as you slowly waste the entirety of your life living on this map. I guess another thing you could do for entertainment is climb atop this tower. Although there isn't really much going on up here, I guess you could stand right here and jump on top of these things to entertain yourself and to get some exercise. Yeah, if I had to live on this map, I'd probably jump off this building right here in a couple of days itself. Next, we've got the Destructible Towers. There's nothing much going on this map. It's just a flat patch of grass with some towers, and I'm sure if I had to live here for the rest of my life, I'd be very, very bored. Like, okay, so the first 5 minutes would be fun, I'd be destroying the towers and stuff, like, hooray, I guess. But once they're destroyed, there's no way to reconstruct them again. I guess the only way to entertain myself would be to use this debris as some sort of an obstacle course or something. Besides that, there's nothing really here to do. We've got no toilets, we've got no newspapers, nothing. I'd lose my mind out here. Next up, we've got the plains map. It's basically the destructible tower, but a lot larger and, without the destructible tower itself. The only thing you can actually do on this map is touch grass. And another thing that you could do is run around the entirety of this map for exercise. Yeah, I've barely spent like 15 seconds in here and I'm already losing my mind. I'm already just running in circles. Yeah, I couldn't spend any time living in real life on this map. And having to touch grass all the time, that's like my biggest nightmare. Please get me out of here, man. Next, we've got the sea map. The sea map, we are here on this somewhat large platform. We've got some palm trees right here, and we've got this dock, and that's basically the gist of it. Like, the only way to entertain yourself would be to fish and to swim around here. At least we've got a nice little view underwater. Besides the dock, of course, we've got a few buoys right here. I mean, I could swim to them every now and then, but what would be the point of that? Yeah, I definitely would not want to live here in real life. Next, we've got the void map. And yeah, I'd lose my mind in 5 seconds. Like, what am I just supposed to live on top of this platform in the middle of nowhere? I can't even enjoy the scenery. There's absolutely nothing to look at. Just take me already. Just kill me already. I want to die. Okay, guys, now it's time to rank the maps based on what I thought of them. So I'm going to start with the worst one, which was definitely the void map. You could not pay me to stay on that for more than 2 days, because by the third day you wouldn't find me there anymore. I'd be somewhere in the void itself. And even if I didn't jump off the platform, my mind would definitely be voided or whatever. Next, we've got the plains map. I'm putting it in the E tier, but that's only because it's not as bad as the void map. I mean, you'd kind of go crazy in this map. There's literally nothing to do. Then I'm placing the sea map also on the E tier because it's got similar problems to the plain map. Like, the only friends I'll have on here are fishes. Now, the Destructible Towers, I'm also going to place it in the E tier because it's basically like the plains map, except, I can break the towers like literally once and then I'll just have a bunch of rubble laying around in my livable area. Like, I wouldn't want that. Now I've got the pillars map, and although it has some structures and stuff compared to the plains and the sea map, I don't think I could live here at all. Like, I like the vibe and atmosphere, but I couldn't tolerate it for too long. It is at the end of the day an ominous place. Now I've got the F2 square map. Now I could live in the F2 square map. It would be a bit weird. Like, the atmosphere and stuff is good. There's only like one livable house. But if it really came down to it, I'd just walk around the maze every now and then. I think I could just live here if it was absolutely necessary. Then we've got the facility map. Definitely not somewhere I'd like to live, but it was kind of large and spacious, although still spooky and ominous. I feel like I'd go insane if I tried to stay in the facility map, so I'm going to place it in the F tier. Now I've got the sanctuary map. This map is almost completely untouched by mankind, which can be a positive but also a negative thing. But it's large, open and spacious, and there's a lot of greenery around, so I'm going to place it in the C tier. Now we've got the Afterglow map. There's nothing much to really do in this map. It's not really bad, but it's not really good. It doesn't have a whole lot going on for it, so I'm going to place it in D tier along with the F2 square map. I would live in it if I had no other choice. Next, we've got the Reminiscence map. Now at night, this is not really a map I'd want to stay in, but I suppose I could just go to sleep in my mansion. I guess this would be a dream home, or especially a dream holiday home for many millionaires. Like, just a house on an island. I suppose it is A tier. I wouldn't mind living here. Now we've got the conspiracy map. There were actually several houses in here. The tower actually left more to be desired, but overall it was fine. Like, it's sort of like $1 million compound. I mean, I'd live in there, so I'm gonna place it on the A tier. Now we've got Pit Valley. I mean, it's not bad. We've got the little secret beach, but then we've just got a massive pit in the middle, and we've got those tunnels, which would always keep me up at night, I suppose. So I'm gonna place it at D tier because I'd always be afraid about what would come out of those tunnels. Now I've got the Polar 6 map. Although small, it had, very cozy interiors. The Polar 6 base itself seems like a chill place to live in, pun intended. So I'd place it at the A tier. I would actually like to live here, although the snow and the cold would make it a little bit difficult. Next, we've got the Desert Bridge map. Now, there's been a lot of destruction here, but there's like a cafe, a bar, a steakhouse, and it's quite spacious. There's a lot of buildings which aren't disrupted, which I could live in, so and place it at A tier, it's alright. Now we've got the Legacy map, and yes, I am going to place it at S tier. It's got some nice little attractions. It's got basically all the amenities and facilities that I need, except I prefer that the urinals were actually toilets, but okay. So yeah, a great place to live in. I'd love to live here. It's gonna be at S tier. Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot about the House of Lament. It is definitely F tier. Would not want to stay there at all. I can't even enter the house. I'm just gonna be on a dark, gloomy island, waiting to die, I guess. Click here to watch me rank all of the destructible maps of Gorebox. So I've been Jazef, you've been Meridians, thank you for watching, and goodbye.